Hey everyone, Caleb here. Today I'm going to be reacting to Angelina Jordan singing I Have Nothing, which is a Whitney Houston tribute from around about a year ago. But I'm actually really keen to hear some of Angelina's new stuff. I know last time I checked in she was recording an album, and I'd really like to hear some of her own songs, some fresh stuff from her. So please, in the comments, let me know when that's coming out, or maybe I just missed it. I did a quick search and I didn't see anything, but maybe I've missed it. So if you have anything from her, put it in the comments. I'm going to look through that, and I'd love to react to something that she's written or that is fresh from her. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing this because Whitney Houston is a fairly different style to what I've heard Angelina do in the past, but I know she has that ability to make the things she sings her own, that she brings her own slant to it. So let's get into this reaction. If you end up enjoying it, make sure to subscribe. Let's do it.
My colors for you. Take my love. I never ask for too much. Just how that you are and everything that you do. I don't really need to look very much further. I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I don't wanna hold it back again. This passion inside, I can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide. Don't make me close one door. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Then you're mine.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So, yeah, I mean, the first thing I noticed is that at the start she was doing some of that far more kind of classical Angelina style. In other words, she had far more of that jazzy kind of sound, those really smooth kind of more head resonant type of vowels, that little bit of smokiness with that vocal fry, which is that little kind of sound that she sometimes adds in with her unique vibrato style. But then as it kind of built, she kind of built into something I haven't heard too much from her before, which is some of that power, particularly in as she kind of ascends. I've heard a little bit. She did it a bit in Bohemian Rhapsody, but she didn't do it a lot, and she really powered that chorus. And she actually did it much different to what I was anticipating, but in a really pleasant way. She really belted it out, and she hit those high notes with a lot of power. And she did a really interesting thing where at the end, her connection between the power of the high voice and then the effortlessness to take the foot off the accelerator and go back to decrescendo in her dynamic back to a more head resonant, a softer tone was really, really good. It's very difficult to do that, and she nailed it. And so very pleasantly surprised, to be honest with you. I thought maybe she'd bring it down a little bit and just, make it a more lower key jazz version, but she's not doing that. So kudos. Let's keep watching, eh?
Break down my walls with the strength of your love. Whoa, I never knew love like I've known with you.
Wow.
I don't really need to look very much further. I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I don't wanna hold it back again. Smash inside.
I don't wanna hold it back up. She's doing that jazzy effect there, but earlier she sung one of those vowels. I can't remember what note it was. I believe she sung the word like, and she went up, and it was far more, a little bit pharyngeal, which means it's kind of back and forwards at the same time. And it had a lot of power to it. And so she's really mixing up these styles that usually are fairly incompatible, or at least very difficult to gel. And she's switching in a way that isn't jarring. You know, it's not like I'm listening to her going, oh, she's Whitney Houston, now she's a jazz singer. It's like she's blending it really in a very clever way. So I don't feel like she's changing genres, but she's also not losing her identity in the sense of what makes her a unique singer. Very difficult to do, because some people, like when they do a cover or when they change their style a little bit to a different genre, they kind of mimic the singer. So it's like, wait, what is your original sound? But for me, I'm very aware that this is Angelina's original sound. She's being true to herself, but she's also switching it up enough to bring some kind of Whitney Houston power vibes to it. So really, really clever stuff.
Can't run from the set. There's nowhere to hide. Your love I remember forever.
Yeah.
Don't make me glad.
Yeah.
I don't wanna hurt anymore. That you're mine.
Yeah.
Leave it there. Must I imagine you were there? Don't walk away from me. I have nothing. Don't make me laugh forward.
Wow.
I don't wanna hurt anymore. That you're mine, leave you there. Must I imagine you were there? Don't walk away from me. Don't you walk away from me. Don't you walk away from me. I have nothing if I don't have you.
Awesome. Oh, good stuff. Bye. Yeah, that was really cool. There's a few parts I actually want to go back over and highlight a few things to get a bit more in depth. I didn't want to do that too much on my first reaction, but I think one thing, just to give my overall vibes, is that she sung this really well in a powerful way when she could have played it more safe to her strengths. Okay, so her strengths are her unique style, that jazziness, her vibrato, her smokiness, just her soulful vibes, the emotion she can bring. Those are her strengths. And risking it by powering out something that's far more belty and powerful. Again, it shows that she's a brave singer. She's willing to stretch. She's willing to grow. And so in a sense, when I look at this song, this is her outside of her comfort zone. And she still does an absolutely amazing job without, as I said earlier, losing her identity. Now, there are singers who can belt this song out more powerfully, you know, and it suits their original style more. So when I look at this, I'm more judging it based on the fact that that her strength is over here, but she's incorporating something that's outside of her strengths and merging it with her strengths. Does that make sense? And for me, that that is tremendous to do that, and I thought it was really, really well done. I could tell that some of those high notes and just some of the approaches was outside of her comfort zone. I could just tell that from the tone in her voice and from the way she was approaching that. But I can kind of notice that maybe just because I work with voices more and because I'm a singer, I don't think the average person would hear that at all, to be honest with you. And it still sounded phenomenal. So at the end of the day, if it sounds good, it is good. That's what I always say. As long as it doesn't damage your voice. Okay, right? If it doesn't damage your voice and it sounds good, then it is good. Okay, I just want to listen to this one note. That I think really highlights the slight change in technique that she uses for this song. Is it around here? Yeah, you hear that? Now, obviously, she wavers off the pitch a little bit because of how high it is and the energy needed. But again, I love that she took the risk to get the power, and she just went for it rather than playing it safe to get the pitch perfect, but then, like, you don't have the power or the energy to it. So I think that's a really cool choice. Let's... That my vowel, right? Again, let's listen. Mom! So you got to have enough forward resonance. Sorry, I'm a guy, so that's super high, so it's not going to sound the same. She sounds a lot better, but I'm just trying to demonstrate something. So she doesn't do it in a soft tone. She doesn't back off. She absolutely goes for it. Now, normally when she goes high, she usually does it in a slightly more smoky tone or in a more pure tone. So in more of a whoo, that tone. But rather than playing it safe again, she adds more pharyngeal and mask resonance. So she goes for that high note. And there's a huge risk in that. Let's listen to it again. You'll know what I mean. And then the arms. My arms! So the arms has to stay open. You can't go, my arms, if you... And then, you know, you've got to hold it open. And that's really hard because, again, it's easy to collapse and to go into a wispy tone and then for it just to sound hollow and terrible, like what I demonstrated, right? As soon as you collapse, it just all falls apart. So this song is very difficult to sing in a whole bunch of ways. And to cut a long story short, because I know I've kind of used a lot of words to describe this, she nailed it. She really did. She brought her personality to it, but she stretched. She showed us a new side to herself. And I always give kudos to artists who are always growing, learning, experimenting, and letting us, the listener, in on that journey. It's really cool in an age of too much auto-tune and everything just sounding perfect and, you know, almost like the Wizard of Oz, you know, the wizard behind the curtain. You never see the reality of it. And it's just all front. I love seeing someone who's genuinely talented and we can see that. This cover wasn't overly perfect in the sense that you could hear a few flaws in her pitch and it wasn't like flattened out with auto-tune and it wasn't over the top. It was real and raw and amazing. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Please, again, in the comments, let me know about her new music coming out. I really want to hear something that she crafted, that she put a lot of time into, that, you know, shows the best of her. I do remember you guys saying that she was recording. I don't know whether that's out yet, whether I missed it. If not, let me know when it is coming out. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.